Hi everyone, how are you doing? Thank you for clicking on this video. So I had an idea some time ago to dedicate Wednesdays to discussing pressing matters on social media, right? Topics that I am comfortable discussing on my channel. So I'm not certain about the name yet, but I'll probably name it Midweek Standpoint. But I feel like Midweek Standpoint is a little bit too serious, but I don't seem to have any other name right now for it. So for now, I might be going with Midweek Standpoint. So the question we're going to be tackling today, and we're going to be reading out responses, is this.
The next day.
Hi everyone, good morning. You won't believe it when I tell you that this is actually a different day, like the next day. So in the middle of trying to shoot that video with this same outfit yesterday, I lost motivation. I just got overwhelmed. I'm like, I don't want to do this right now. So I turned off my camera and contemplated, should I continue or should I give it up? And the next thing, NEPA took the light, and that was like, okay, that means I'm not supposed to do this. So I just give up. Luckily, of course, I didn't go anywhere with this shirt. I just hung it, and today I feel a bit better and I want to continue shooting. So yeah, but I'm sure you can't tell. Even if I don't explain to you, you hardly tell because I'm wearing the same earrings, I'm wearing the same shirt, I have the same hairstyle, I have the same nails. Anyway, I'm talking too much at this point. So somebody asked, what is the weirdest thing society accepts as normal? Let's hear what people have to say. Amarobella says that if someone is defensive, then they are likely lying. What if they're just passionate? I feel like this is relative, right? I feel like it's a two-sided coin. If somebody is defensive, they probably are actually passionate, like Amarobella was trying to point out. They are probably trying to hammer on the topic to make you understand their point and to see reasons with them. But on the other hand, you can't negate the fact that somebody who is defensive might actually be putting in extra effort to cover up their lies. That's possible. So my take on this is neither here nor there. If you're discerning, you should be able to tell which one it is. But yeah, it's neither here nor there, like I said. Guys, my neighbor is making a hell of noise. Like, I don't even know what to do. If I say let me suspend this video now, I can't trust NEPA. You can hear her voice, right? This is what we'll have to go through, especially when you don't have the right gadgets for you to. Lord have mercy. Guys, really sorry about the background noise. I don't have control over it. So please, I'll try to cancel it on CapCut, but this is just me. I'm working with what I have, right? I'm working with what is available. I'm not faking myself. There's never a right time to shoot a video in this environment where I live. It's either the neighbors are making noise, or the bike man is passing, or there is no power supply, something. So I have to make do. I mean, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So please bear with me. Let's get right to the next response. Next one, Pooja is responding by saying the insane amount of money that is spent on weddings. This table. This table. So the thing is, right, people have different preferences. Let's not negate that. Let's not relegate the fact that people prefer different things, right? I, for one, I prefer a very small, intimate wedding. That's what I prefer, right? Other people prefer flamboyant, over the top weddings. You got to give it to them, right? So what I'll say is, it depends on what what you want. It depends on your pocket. And when I say it depends on your pocket, you should actually have the resources. Like, you should actually do it without inconveniencing your finances, because you can't close down your bank account, sweep your bank account empty just because you want to have a wedding, just for a wedding that makes a statement. If you have the money, if you're a multi-millionaire, a billionaire, go for it, have a go at it, right? Enjoy. But I feel like in this case, you have to apply wisdom. If you're not there yet, or there are other pressing issues, because it's been said several times, The wedding is one day, then the marriage is for a lifetime. Plan ahead, do things with wisdom. Pray, yes, pray for discernment, pray for wisdom, pray for insights on how to actually go about planning your wedding. For me, I want a small wedding, very, very intimate wedding, because that is what I prefer, right? Somebody else might want differently, but don't do anything without wisdom. That's all. Let me just put it that way. Don't do anything without wisdom. So Pooja has a point, but yeah, that's my take on it. Because the fact that I love small weddings shouldn't translate to everybody wanting the same. So do you, boo, but do you with wisdom. That's all I'm saying. So another weird thing that society accepts as normal, according to Melo's mommy, is men peeing any and everywhere. It's disgusting. I don't know how it is in the Western world, but in Nigeria, guys, a man can literally be passing on a street and just the nearest gutter, he doesn't care if it's in somebody's house or whatever. You see him undoing his trousers and releasing liquid, and I'm like, why would you do this? It doesn't make any sense. Let's have some decorum, please. So I really agree with Melo here. It's not normal. Please, it's not normal. Stop it, oh. Stop it. Pee before you leave your house, and if you really are pressed, look for a toilet. Except you are really in a tight corner, you're really pressed, and your bladder is really pressured. Okay, yeah, but you ask yourself, how do women do it? Okay, but most times when you see these things, it's people who can conveniently go to an enclosed place and do their business. You see them splattering liquid from their bodies, you know, in public. Let's put a check on that. Do better, guys, do better, really. Okay, so Black Jolloff's response to the weirdest thing that society accepts as normal is equating age with wisdom. This table. If you don't have wisdom, you don't have wisdom. Pray to God for wisdom. You might have lived decades and decades on earth, but you don't have wisdom in decision making, in choice making, in the way you live your life, in the way you carry yourself, in the way you respond to things, in the way you just do life. You know how they say experience is the best teacher? To an extent, I'm a bit on the fence regarding this one, because I have seen people who have exuded so much wisdom, and I know that it's only experience that would have given them that level of wisdom. It's only, you know, life's experiences that would have given them that amount of wisdom. And I've also seen people that have lived 6-7 decades in this world, and the way they act, the way they behave, you begin to ask yourself, what's going on here? You know, they literally behave like 20-year-olds, teenagers even, you know. So I'm a bit on the fence regarding this. But if you've lived on earth for a long time and you still don't have wisdom, and you know the thing, these people that don't have as much wisdom as they should, let me just sound that way, they don't see, they don't accept it. All right, so, and whatever you say to them comes off as an insult. So just leave them to live their lives the way they want to. But I'm neither here nor there when it comes to this point, because like I said, some people actually have wisdom. Some elderly people, you know, actually have wisdom because they have lived, they have seen, they have experienced, they've made mistakes and they've learned from it, and they have a wealth of, you know, knowledge, a wealth of experience to pass down to you and direct you on what to do. You know, they give you sound advice based on what they have tried and failed in their lifetime, right? While the other side of the coin is a different ball game, where people who have equally lived life, done this and that, made mistakes, or they refuse to learn from their mistakes, they picked nothing out of their life experiences, and they still behave like they're teenagers in secondary school. And you're asking yourself questions. Well, to each his own. But if you look at yourself and you want to tell yourself the truth, and you stand aside yourself, assess your life, and you realize that you're not living life with wisdom, ask the Father of wisdom to give you wisdom. Baba God, wisdom, because without wisdom you really cannot do this life. You really need wisdom to go through your day-to-day activities. And you see young people too, even teenagers, even young adults, who actually have this wisdom, and you're like, wow, so it's actually multifaceted. So yeah, that's how it is. So the next point is by Sean Keys, and he says, being a deadbeat father. Like, why are you running away from your kids? This is something I will never understand. It's really sad, and so many men do this thing. You just are irresponsible. You're not there for your children. You literally walk away from your children and their mother. Some of them even plant seeds all over the place. They've lost count of how many children they have. And I'm asking, wow, I don't even know. It's sad, and the formative years of a human being's life actually sets the tone for the rest of their lives to a very large extent. When somebody has a faulty childhood where a parent is absent for unnecessary reasons, it could really break that child. It could really break the way the child sees his or herself as an adult. It could also affect the way the child responds and relates to people as an adult. It could do a lot of harm to that child, unless by the grace of God. My take is, and my advice is, if you're not ready to be a father, don't get married, don't impregnate people. Do you understand the gravity of what it is to be a father? I'm a Christian, and I'll always have my views from the Christian perspective and from the biblical point of view. And as far as I'm concerned, marriage and parenting is a huge responsibility, is a huge ministry. It's your first ministry. If you don't do the right thing as a parent, do the right thing and leave the rest to God. But if as a parent you're not doing the right thing, you have God to contend with. You answer questions. I don't know if people realize this. You don't just engage somebody, get married, and start popping out babies without plans, without the discipline and intentionality you need as a parent. The annoying part is these people are deadbeat. They don't contribute anything to the child's life. Then in the long run, maybe when the child is grown up, wants to get married, or the child succeeds in life, you see them appearing and demanding to be taken care of, and you're wondering, how dare you? I know you're supposed to take care of your parents and what have you, but being a deadbeat parent is a no-no. Like, why would you do that? That's really sad. Please do better. Do better. Make amends. Retrace your steps. So the last point for today's episode, or like I said, the last response, is from Echwa Olse, and it's actually tied to the last point I just dissected. She said, children are the ones forced to reach out and forgive the parents who wronged, abused, and caused them trauma, because it's family and you must respect your elders, or else things in your life won't go well. Sometimes when we read the Bible, like I said, my perspective will always come from scriptures. When you read the Bible, we're always quick to speak about when the Bible instructs children to obey their parents and all of that. In Ephesians chapter 6 verse 4, the Bible says that fathers, parents of course, fathers, mothers of course, do not provoke your children to wrath, but bring them up in the training and admonition of the Lord. So can you bring up your children in the admonition and training of the Lord if you're wronging them intentionally, wronging them, hurting them, abusing them, causing them trauma? I mean, you can't hurt somebody and claim rights because you're an elder. It doesn't work that way. I'm very big on respect, proper respect for elders. Elders have a part to play. Let us not even try to sweep that under the carpet. Elders have a part to play. My parents are no more. My mom and dad, they're no more. But I always cherish their memories because of the kind of parents they were to me. And even up till this day, I always want to do things that make them proud. That's the kind of value they instilled in me. So do your part as a parent. And if your child is being distant from you, forgiveness as a Christian is something you have to do, no matter the circumstance, right? But don't force that person. Do it with humility and meekness. Because you're older than somebody does not reduce the amount of pain you've caused that person. It doesn't work that way. So be humble about it. Seek forgiveness, no matter how long it takes. Be consistent with your pursuit, for forgiveness, to mend the bridge as much as you can. Forgiveness is for yourself, it's not for the other party, just so that nobody lives rent-free in your heart and in your mind, and so that if the rapture takes place, nothing will stop you, nothing will hold you back. So it's good to forgive. It's important, it's a necessity to forgive. Don't hold any grudge and all of that, but it doesn't mean that you owe that person an actual, functional relationship. No, you can forgive people and keep them at arm's length and love them from afar for your mental health, especially if the person is not even a changed person, so it's a bit dicey. So you need the help of the Holy Spirit as a Christian to do this and do it right. Okay, so yeah, that's what I think about. I mean, I've come across people whose fathers just walked away, whose fathers molested them, whose fathers abused them, whose mothers just gave birth to them and left. Okay, so life is neither black or white. If a parent had to be distant from you for a reason, maybe for greener pastures or for something very important, I mean, it's understandable, it's for your good. He or she is actually doing it for your good. But somebody who doesn't have any reason, just walks away, abandons you, doesn't care. Even parents that leave the country or leave the environment for greener pastures or for one reason or the other, they keep in touch. They still do their duties as parents from afar. You still feel the presence and love of your mom or dad from afar. So it's different. When I was 6 years old, my dad moved to the north, to Abuja, and then at some point my mom had to go and visit. She left me in the care of family friends, and she would always call with the landline in those days and check up on me and all of that. And in 6 months, her younger brother took me from the east to go over, and then I stayed with them. So life is circumstantial sometimes. I'm watching some of my favorite YouTubers now, Asi Darling, who just moved to Canada. And if you hear Asi's story and the way she gave birth to her son, through, like, she was heavily pregnant and they had to operate on her multiple times. And how attached she is to that child of hers. Micah, lovely Micah, I love that boy, but at some point she had to make the decision for Micah's future. She left, she's in Canada now. The day she left, she cried, Micah cried, I think. Did he even cry? I don't think he understood what was going on, so I don't think he cried. But anyway, point is, she had to leave. Doesn't mean she doesn't love her child, no. So let's also put that into consideration. And she's also, of course, as she's very smart and intelligent, she's definitely working towards Micah coming over and then reuniting with her son in a better environment. So it is with Winifred Carl. Winifred is also a YouTuber that I watch. She has a 2-year-old or so, or 1-year-old, I can't remember, but her child is pretty young. She had to leave her child with the husband and moved to Canada recently as well. And of course she's going to send for him and they'll reunite. So yeah, that's life, but that's not the point. Those are not the situations I'm talking about at all, because like I said, life can be very circumstantial sometimes. Things have to happen and you may have to make drastic decisions like that. So that should be put into consideration. But parents that just up and leave for no reason, up and leave and just abandon their children for decades upon decades, and then the children are all grown up, manage to succeed without your advice, without your support as a parent and everything, and then you come back and you're expecting your child to act like nothing happened. I didn't you own up to your wrong, you make amends, you humble yourself, and try to, I'm not saying the younger person should insult anybody, but still don't impose yourself on somebody you abandoned for years. Don't do that. The younger one should forgive you and all of that, but no matter how much time it takes for them to get to the point where they want to have you more in their lives, then you have to be patient for that to happen. And if they tell you that, oh, I've forgiven you, but I really cannot relate with you, then maybe you should go back to prayers and ask God for forgiveness and ask God to help them heal, and then incorporate you into their life as a family member, an elderly family member, father, mother, uncle, whatever. But don't force yourself on anybody. That's all I'm trying to say. I hope I made sense. But yeah, I'm passionate about this, and my parents are really, really present and intentional parents. So I can't even begin to imagine somebody who has a different experience with a parent who abandoned them for no reason. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I just want to put this out there. If you're going through something similar, God sees you. I'm really sorry that you had to go through this. It doesn't make you unworthy. You are worthy. You are priceless in the eyes of God, and I hope that you heal. I hope that you find a place in your heart to forgive the person, the elderly person in your life who has wronged you, who abandoned you, who abused you. I'm so sorry. And I hope it gets better for you. I genuinely hope so, because I can't even begin to imagine. I genuinely hope so. And I love you. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. So yeah, like I said, these series will be coming most likely every Wednesday. I hope I'm able to keep up, and yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you subscribe, I hope that you like, and I wish that you leave a comment, right? And I'll see you in my next video.